For decades, we were literally sold a massive biological lie. We were told that your brain's capacity is completely fixed, that the mental hand you're dealt at birth is simply what you're stuck with for life. But what if I told you that you could physically upgrade your gray matter right now, no matter your age? In this explainer, we are completely unlocking the 10 scientifically proven habits of a limitless mind. But before we reveal the system, I have a quick challenge for you. I want you to rate yourself from 0 to 10 on each habit as we go through them. 0 means you're totally neglecting it, and 10 means you are absolutely crushing it. Be brutally honest with yourself because you can't upgrade a system if you don't actually know its flaws.
Look, in our fast-paced world, everyone's chasing that Hollywood fantasy, right? We all want that limitless magic pill. Just one silver bullet to mysteriously double your focus and memory overnight. Well, the hard scientific reality is that pill doesn't exist, but a magic process absolutely does. True cognitive enhancement doesn't come from a single overnight hack. It comes from a structured step-by-step system of habits that heavily compound over time.
So, why these 10 specific habits? Well, it all comes down to the ultimate biological cheat code, the 80-20 rule. Just 20% of your actions drive a massive 80% of your cognitive results. If you can just nail this specific 20%, you're going to build an unshakable foundation for elite mental performance.
Let's jump right into phase 1, fueling the machine. You really are what you eat, and your gray matter absolutely demands premium fuel to run properly. We're talking about heavy-hitting, neuroprotective powerhouses here. Things like blueberries, which are literally brain berries, avocados, and good fats for sustained mental energy. And yes, surprisingly enough, dark chocolate makes the cut. A really great rule of thumb to remember is this: what's good for your mood is generally good for your mind. So, on that scale of 0 to 10, how is your brain diet holding up?
But here's the thing. Food alone isn't always enough to cut it. Thanks to our modern, on-the-go, fast food lifestyles, you might actually be operating with some severe nutrient deficiencies right this very second. If you have low B vitamins or omega-3s, you're virtually guaranteed to experience brutal brain fog. The real fix here is getting a blood test to reveal your unique biological red, yellow, and green foods. And you pair that knowledge with daily physical exercise to literally pump oxygen-rich blood straight up into your prefrontal cortex.
All right, moving on to phase 2, purging hidden toxins.
Now, this phase is kind of insidious. We're not just talking about the harsh chemicals sitting under your sink, but unseen pollutants that are actively hijacking your cognition. I mean, we all know that amazing feeling of relief when you finally organize a messy desk, but a clean environment goes way deeper than that. Airborne pollutants and water contaminants physically degrade your cognitive function. Simply put, clean air and clean water literally equal clear cognition.
But wait, there is actually a much more dangerous environmental toxin hanging around: your social circle. There is a very harsh truth out there. If you hang around 9 broke people, you are inevitably going to become the 10th. And fascinatingly, modern neuroscience proves exactly why this happens.
It all boils down to mirror neurons. These are highly specialized cells in your nervous system that practically force you to subconsciously imitate the behaviors, habits, and even emotions of the people around you. You know when you wince because a character gets hurt in a movie? Yeah, that's your mirror neurons firing off. This means your bad habits, whether it's laziness, constant complaining, or a terrible diet, are highly contagious. You are constantly absorbing the mindsets of your peer group.
Which brings us to arguably the deadliest self-inflicted toxin of all: ANTs, or automatic negative thoughts. Think about it. If we obsess so much over cleansing the food we eat, why do we completely ignore the thoughts we feed our minds? So, here is a serious challenge for you. Can you go on a 30-day fast from complaining?
There's a famous saying, a coward dies 1,000 times in their mind, but a brave person only dies once. Why is that? Because biologically speaking, your brain absolutely cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined fear and actual physical reality. If you hook a brain-sensing device up to someone and a dog walks in the room, certain areas of their brain light up. But if they simply imagine that dog walking in, those exact same areas light up. When you constantly rehearse your fears and anxieties, you aren't just having a bad day, you are physically rewiring your brain's circuitry for failure.
Okay, phase 3, the shutdown sequence.
We've talked a lot about inputs and purging, but what exactly happens in the dark when you think your brain is completely off? Well, before we even get to sleep, we have to confront invisible stress. Stress is honestly like water to a fish. We don't even notice the crushing pressure we're under until we finally step away and feel our shoulders physically drop.
Chronic stress is highly neurotoxic. You have to actively neutralize it with meditation, yoga, or whatever genuinely relaxes your mind.
Managing that stress is exactly what unlocks the hidden power of sleep. And let's be clear, sleep is not just some passive power-down mode. It is a highly active, biological deep clean. This is the exact time when your brain works to consolidate short-term knowledge into permanent, long-term memory. It physically sweeps away the plaque linked to brain aging and dementia. So, pulling an all-nighter for an exam, it doesn't actually help you study. It entirely deprives your brain of its essential self-cleaning cycle.
In fact, your brain can actually be more active at night. While you sleep, your mind transforms into this incredible, passive, problem-solving machine. Some of history's absolute greatest breakthroughs happened while people were dreaming. We're talking Mary Shelley coming up with Frankenstein, Paul McCartney literally dreaming the melody for Yesterday, the invention of the sewing machine, and even the layout of the periodic table.
But here's the crazy part. We are actively sabotaging this incredible genius state. Here's a totally terrifying statistic for you. 90% of kids today sleep with their smartphones tucked right under their pillows. We are literally bathing our highly sensitive brains in electromagnetic fields all night long. Upgrading your brain means you have to protect it from this unseen digital trauma. Seriously, keep the devices out of the bedroom.
And that brings us to the climax, the system upgrade.
So you fueled the machine, you've purged the toxins, and you've mastered the shutdown sequence. Now, we finally unlock the limitless potential of the human mind. For decades, science completely lied to us. They claimed your brain just stopped growing in early adulthood. But modern neuroscience has revealed two absolute miracles. First, neurogenesis, which is your brain's ability to create entirely new cells until the day you die. And second, neuroplasticity, your ability to forge brand new neural connections. Your brain isn't some rigid, fixed hard drive. It is a living, adaptable muscle.
To actually trigger this incredible system upgrade, you need a simple two-step formula. Step 1 is novelty. You have to actively shock the brain with a new stimulus. Read a totally new book, try learning a new language, or pick up a musical instrument. And step 2 is nutrition. You have to give the brain the physical fuel it desperately needs to actually build that new neural bridge. Just like tearing a muscle in the gym and rebuilding it with protein, your brain grows massively through novel stress combined with premium nutrition.
So, we've covered the 10 keys. Getting the right brain food, killing those negative thoughts, prioritizing exercise, checking your nutrients, auditing your peer group, keeping a clean environment, protecting your sleep, guarding against digital trauma, seeking out new learnings, and mastering stress management. Now here is your final challenge. I want you to optimize these habits for just 21 days. And as you do, you have to ask yourself, what future is your brain rehearsing today? Are you passively wiring your mind for fear and failure, or are you actively upgrading your entire system to become truly limitless? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll see you in the next one.